So another really cool thing about this build is my walls are going to be the traditional teardrop camper 4 foot high, but with me building a boat hull first, it's actually going to be 4 foot 6 inches high on the inside of the camper, because this goes down into here, so it gives you close to 5 foot of clearance inside of that. So it's really going to be, might only be 6 inches, but in a teardrop camper, that's the world of difference. It feels completely different. So, like I said, I'll divide my galley. My kitchens will pull out on each side. The center will open up. Boat motor will go on the transom here. Steer it from inside, and also a door to get in and out. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in this back frame. I'm going to make this first frame, and then I'll make one for the front, and then we'll start tying it all in together. Let's go. So a little trick that I've learned over the years is when you want to make sure you're making something perfectly square, if you're building off a base that might not be setting perfectly square, like I've got the camper leveled out almost perfect, but the bubble's not dead center on this trailer, but I still want to make sure I'm building up perfectly square. So what I do is I make a few true 90s, just using a speed square. Trace that, cut that, you know you've got a perfect 90 here. Take a couple corners, use those corners in the corners to set your framework up top, so you know you're setting exactly where you need to be as far as square is. So let's do that. So we'll cut these two out, and when we set the frame, we'll use this to screw the down stem and the cross stem too. And we know we're perfectly square at that point. These are 8 feet long, so we're going to cut it in half with a 4 foot. This will give me 2 sides to work with. You want to make sure you cut directly down your line straight in the center, because you're going to lose just a little bit of length either side of that blade, but I want to get 2 4-inch pieces out of each stick, because lumber is through the roof right now, so keep that in mind. Now that I have that set and I know it's a true square, I can start building off of that for the rest of this. So the first ribs are set up, and now I'll start squaring everything off of that square. This right outside of that garage. So what I did to start this frame is I made some true 90s in each corner to make sure that was perfectly square whenever I framed that up. And then I did true 90s the opposing direction on each side to make sure it's perfectly vertical and perfectly horizontal. And then did the 90s here on each side to get that same thing, to make sure that we're perfectly square, perfectly horizontal
to build on top of. Just a little trick that'll help you all out if you can't find square, if you're setting anything less than perfectly level. Alright, I hope that helps. Just the basic start of the frame around the boat base, which is going to become a teardrop / square drop camper. Now, even though the walls are only 4 foot high, it's actually going to be 4 foot 6 inches, because when it gets down to the base here, you got 6 more inches that drop down into the hull of the boat. So 4 foot 6 inches standing up in there, almost 5 foot tall. So you're gonna have to break the back too much getting in and out of there. It'll be pretty nice. We'll have the door here. We'll have a door over here on the other side, and then in our rear end kitchen, we will have it separated, so it'll be kitchen from here over, kitchen from here over. The middle portion will be a hatch, full door that opens all the way up, so that you can come out of that. So there'll be 3 entrances and exits. I think that's pretty important for something that's going to be on the water, just in case. Multiple exits. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I got some apologizing to do. I've lost some footage, so I'm going to try to just catch you up where we are right now and go from there. And again, I apologize, deleted some SIM card before I pulled the files off. So anyway, let me show you where we're at on this build. So what I've done here is I took 2x2s and miter saw to make the angles to shape the curve on each side. And then I put my cross 2x2s on top of these 2x2s going upright for more down pressure to be able to put on that, because it's, you know, it's going to press down, 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 so you've got the strength in that versus putting the cross beam in between them. I wanted it overlapping so it can handle more force down, because at the end of the day on this, I want the top of this boat to be a sun deck, so you can get up there and tan when you're out on the water. So that's what we've done there on all those. And as this last upright goes up, the angle, couldn't make that curve, but what I could do is split the difference in the gap using 1-bys on those two going across, which land that exactly flush with that curve. So when I stretch my material over it, it'll be perfectly fine. So I was originally going to have 3 doors in here. I was going to have a door on that side, a door on this side, and of course the rear entry door that I'm going to put in here with that splits the galley, so the galley will be on either side of this. But instead I'm going to have this door that splits the galley, no doors in there. That way I can make a wraparound couch, shelving, and all that stuff without having to worry about doors interrupting my design. And I'm actually going to make it to where the inside of this is going to have a hatch that will open up, and you can climb up from the inside onto the roof. So that's why I'm putting in all these cross braces right now. This isn't here for permanent. I just put this here to see what kind of head clearance I was still going to have with those cross braces coming as low as they do. Plenty of head clearance still, so I'm putting all these cross braces in right now to add that support to be able to be on top of this unit. So that's where we are right now, and let's continue going. So sorry I wasn't able to show you the construction of the front side. Oh, I did, I tried, but stupid me deleted it. So that's where we are right now. Alright, flat bottom plus double pontoon base, and teardrop / square drop in the back whenever I do the departure angle. It's going to be pretty cool, I think.
Always use your wood glue. Glue and screw everything. Alright, so I just wanted to get a feel for how much space will be in here when it's all enclosed, so I just stretched some tarps over it. And yeah, man, plenty of headroom. It feels very open in here. Now, I built a 4x8 teardrop before, but it was the traditional, just rounded off, and it didn't feel like near as much room as this. I mean, it was still comfy, for sure, but this is a whole nother level. It just feels, I don't know, almost feels like a real camper, like a real full-size camper, even though it's not. So, I'm liking it. I'm liking what we got going on here. This is going to be pretty badass when it's done. All kinds of space. Alright. Man, I'm loving it. Look at all that headroom. All kinds of headroom. Not a problem at all. Head space for days. Yep. So this is where we are so far. See, it's got the flat bottom, double pontoons on each side for the base. And it's immaculately spacious inside compared to what I thought it was going to be. You know, only 4x8. But it's actually got another 6 inches of height because the boat goes down into the hole or whatever you call it. I don't know, I'm not a boat guy, but I think it's the hole. But anyway, so you'll be able to change comfortably inside of there. You know, you won't be able to stand all the way up, but it won't be like your typical teardrop. You'll actually be able to get in there and move around a little bit. Front side of the boat, bottom of it. Might be brave. I might go ahead and get up there on the top and see how sturdy it is. Yeah, let's do that. So as you can see, it'll hold at least 200 pounds as it is, being that that's how much my fat ass weighs. Not bad, not bad at all. And that's before putting the roof on it, putting the other braces in it, and all that good stuff. So I don't think that's going to have any problem being a sun deck when we get done. I'm excited about that. Let's move on. Alright, materials. So these 1x3s are going to be for the base of the inside of this camper, because this is what's going to go into the sidewalls and in between the uprights, which is what's going to help fully attach the shell to the boat bottom. So that's what these are for. But anyway, next step, let's go. So the material that I'm using right now, what it's called is hardboard, not cardboard, but hardboard. What it is exactly, I don't know, but it shapes really easy, and it doesn't really matter because the entire thing is going to be covered in foam and then PMF'd around it. So this is something that's going to give me a really good base, let me create my shape, really easy to work with, and then do everything around it. So that's what that is. I ripped this, I got to do it in 2 sections, but that's okay because this camper is actually 55 inches wide rather than 4 foot, so I was going to have to put a spacer in it anyway. So I'm going to put the space in the middle, and then I'll give me another one
rip it down to a small one, and then put it over the middle before I put the foam over it. So I think we'll be good. So I'm just going to put one screw in it right now so I can line it all up. And this is the inside, so that's where the 8-foot ends. So I'll put another horizontal all the way across there, and then I'll put another vertical underneath that. Alright, that's the first side. Moving on up. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for part 2. I'm going to try to keep these relatively short so I don't bore you to death. We'll see you on part 3. Have a good one.